over the last few days I've been given quite a bit of consideration to the senses. As vertebrates all kind of share the commonalities of particular senses, you know, the vision, the olfactory sense of touch, sense of taste. The hearing. And so we're living in these human bodies, and so vision is the sort of the predominant sense. You know, if we were snakes, the sense of smell would be the thing. And snakes also, I remember watching a documentary years ago and discovering that the sensing of vibration and heat are integral to survival for snakes as well. And for dogs, hearing and sense of smell also. Cats, sense of smell. Lions and horses, sight. So there's some real significance to this channel. And yet, quite often when we see what we see, we don't see what we see. What happens is that some sort of judgment gets in the way. So, you know, I'm thinking about things like, you know, inviting a person to orientate, you know, maybe doing an online orientation and inviting a person to orientation. It being really difficult for them to simply see what's there, because quite quickly judgment jumps in. So, you know, there might be a heap of laundry in the corner of the room where they're sat orientating, and that is not a heap of laundry, that is, oh my god, I should have done that yesterday. And so that's not where we're going when we're exploring orientation. Actually, that's kind of what we're just like, that judgmental stuff is just, we're sidestepping that, you know, kind of like it's a little bit like an obstacle in our course, and we just kind of, as skillfully as possible, move around it and continue, because the intention is to simply see what the eyes see. You know, when we're looking out the window, it's not that bit of the window frame that we should have painted a bit better. It's what is being received by the eyes when we look out. So maybe just the tree in the garden. So it just seems significant to kind of develop ways of moving past those judgments. I'm thinking about what kind of attention we give to things. And interestingly, in Irish, there are a number of words for both of these words, but there's a crossover. In Irish, the word for attention and the word for care are both ara. So Curfwin Dara the Anol, that's put under your care, or put under your attention, your breath. And I perceive that I get that, you know, what lands for me more with those words is put under your care, put your breath under your care. Because it seems to me that it's quite easy for attention to be hijacked by the, it's referred to as the what's wrong attention. And maybe there's some sort of crossover there with like the inner critic, or when the voice of doubt becomes particularly consuming. So in these practices, there's this tending to a sort of a clear or neutral perceiving. So instead of it being, I like it, I don't like it, that was really good, that's really bad, I did a bad job there, all of these directions that I'm sure we're all perfectly familiar with. So I think that's enough with that, really. But so in this practice, it's just a short practice to come to the senses. So wherever you are, simply letting the eyes go where they want to go. And seeing what is. Seeing in neutrality, if you will. And there may need to be a little bit of strategicness in how you work this, because if you're seeing quite a lot of stuff that's kind of like red or hot, or like goes quickly into judgment, it may be helpful to just have a few things around that you can be neutral towards. Things that look okay. And letting the attention to be with those things that look okay. Quite often the attention is drawn to plants. If you have a plant in your room. Of course, I'm noticing a cheese plant beside me. And when there's enough of that, maybe just moving to the hearing sense. And what might be there. And I'm just tuning into the sounds around. And can there be an awareness again in neutrality of whatever sounds are around? Yes, the buzzing of the fridge might be a bit frustrating, but beneath that frustration, it's simply the buzzing of the fridge. Could it be helpful to switch to another sound? Sometimes sounds can be almost like layered. It might be the sound of the fire flickering in the background, or in my case, the sound of a sheep bang. Might there be something in the awareness of the olfactory sense? And of course the olfactory sense is so intricately linked to the sense of taste And also just kind of being aware that for people who are recovering from COVID, that might sort of be like, they might be dulled senses for a period throughout recovery, which is of course just as it needs to be for the time being. So simply letting that be. At times it's as if there are parts of the body that simply need to lie fallow. There are simply parts of the body that need to be quiet. Just like in nature, just like the seasons accommodate action and inaction, or movement and stillness. And what might be available to the sense of touch? Might there be a sense of the temperature surrounding you? Might there be a feeling, or might there be an awareness of the body as it is on the surface where it is, the weight of the body? The sense of, maybe the sense of the sit bones on the chair where you sit, or the feeling of the hand on the leg perhaps, or simply gravity, how gravity greets the body. And when it feels like there's enough of that sort of journey through the senses, simply returning to let the eyes go where they want to go. So much resource to be had in this humaning. So thank you very much for joining this practice. It's a pleasure to share with you.